It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
We are being live streamed. Welcome to Car Con Carne. This is episode 702. I'm James Van Alstyne. And as I begin, I'm going to help myself to a Well-Being coffee cream brew. This is delicious. Now, Well-Being is non-alcoholic beer. But the thing is, for years, non-alcoholic beer was synonymous with shitty, not good, not tasty. Well-Being figured it out. Craft beer just without the alcohol in it. So as Dry January is wrapping up, maybe you want to keep that going in February, or you're just looking for some alternatives, maybe just to take a break every third drink, maybe make it an NA. I recommend Well-Being beer. This coffee, this coffee cream is ridiculous, but also the Hellraiser Amber is a really good starting point. Take a look at what they have, wellbeingbrewing.com, and make it easy on yourself. Take 10% off your Well-Being Brewing order with my promo code JVO at wellbeingbrewing.com. So I mentioned this is episode 702. Earlier this week, I did episode 700, kind of a big milestone. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard it, I invited 14 of my former radio coworkers onto what was like a 2.5-hour broadcast. We covered a lot of ground. We talked about lots of bad programming decisions made through the years, lots of people getting fired, myself included, general mischief. Look, radio is unlistenable and awful in the present day, but I swear to God, it was fun back in the day. And you can relive some of that with 14 of my former Q101 co-workers, episode 700 of Car Con Carne. Just yesterday, I did something with Cinco de Gatos, which you can listen to. Cinco de Gatos, who will be at the Double Doors open house this coming Sunday. And coming up, WGN Television's Mike Toomey. And my goal is to get back in the car March, depending on where we're at with public health concerns at that point. We'll see how it goes. I'd love to get back in the car. It was fun while it lasted in December and January. But tonight, it is the return of Wrong War. In my description online, I said, this is hardcore with a lot on its mind. Wrong War returns with their second full release, and they want you to know that things have not gotten better since their debut. That debut, by the way, right here on Handsome Vinyl. I saw you guys like a month ago. I should have had you sign this. I wasn't thinking.
I devalue it.
I don't think that's true. I appreciate the good old-fashioned Midwest self-effacing humor, though. Here's the thing. Right. I mentioned that Cinco de Gatos is playing this double door open house. They do it bi-weekly in the new facility. They're not open for business. They probably won't be open for business until October, but they're throwing these it's almost like house parties in this space. They've got it's not ready for occupancy. It's not ready for anything, but they're having bands come in and people come by and drink cheap, shitty beer. And it's kind of awesome. You guys did this like a month ago. You played this double door thing. You did just this blistering half-hour set. And I think what what was interesting to people, you guys walk in very unassuming. You're four unassuming guys. You get on stage and you rip people's fucking heads off. And they're not prepared for that when they see Wrong War walk into the building.
Thank you.
Yeah, I take that as a compliment. That's good.
And it is. And it is. I mean, you come in there and you are dead set on making an impact, and you did. That was a blistering 30 minutes. I love being able to see you live. How does it feel to be back and kind of playing again? I know you're playing a festival in like a month or so. How does it feel to actually get up there and do what you do?
I mean, it's been good. It's been few and far between, but we've been managed to sneak in, 5-6 shows since the end of last summer. Did a tiny bit of traveling, went out to the East Coast, went up to Detroit, played locally around here a few times. So it's been good. I mean, I think it gives us something to focus on. Like we've been writing for 2 years now, recording. And we kind of move on really fast from our old stuff almost too quickly. So it's nice to kind of pause and be able to actually play those songs live. So it's been good. I mean, I think we were hoping by this time things would look very different too. You'd be back in the car. We'd be, playing live shows that people actually came to. But so far it is what it is, and hopefully by the summer, spring, things start to turn. But yeah, there's a big festival I think it's May, in Dayton, Ohio. It's Dayton Music Fest, 3 days, tons of bands I think we're playing Sunday. It's going to be great.
So your first release was in 2020. You're starting this year with a new album. That is a pretty brisk pace. I mean, as you get together and write and work on stuff, is it just falling into place? I feel like it doesn't happen this easily for other bands. Are you just in a groove together, the four of you?
I sort of feel like it's almost a necessity for us, like to be efficient in a way that's so different from any other band that I've been in. Like we're so excited to get together when we do. Somebody brings an idea, and we just sink our teeth into it and tear it apart. Like it's so much fun, and I think that's part of the reason why I think we've been able to be efficient in the way that we have in terms of our songwriting, is that I think we just enjoy hanging out with each other. There's no drama. Like, we get together once a week if we're lucky, and we make the most of it. And then I think we enjoy, rehearsing. We enjoy getting in the studio and putting it down. But more than anything, like, I don't want to speak for everybody else, but like just playing live again just feels so good. You don't realize how much you miss it until you get out there and you see people like getting excited about it. It's pretty cool, and it's a lot of fun with these guys.
So that's Dave talking. I should mention Matt, Patrick, and Dan are also here, which, if you're listening, it's kind of hard. You can't look at these guys on the screen. But what do you think? Other three guys, are you in that groove? Do you agree with what Dave was saying? I
definitely do. I also think there's probably, at least for me personally, there's a little bit more of a purpose, it feels like now, where, it's always been fun, right, to play music and hang out with your friends. But I feel like before, certainly in my 20s and things like that, it was just about like playing locally once every 6 weeks maybe, and just like it was a big party, and it was just good times piled on top of good times, and which is nothing wrong with that. But now with the different landscape show wise, where for a while we didn't have a choice, we couldn't do anything, but we still had every bit as much fun getting together and writing tunes. And that, to answer your question, like it does click with us. I was talking about it earlier, like same as anybody else. I think like one of us will bring a riff or bring an idea, and we'll all kind of collaborate and hash it out together. And then whatever Matt comes back with, usually vocally and lyrically, like, so far every time has like blown the rest of us away. So
it usually propels it into something a little bit more intense or a little bit different. But there's the pace, right? You mentioned the show, like we come in and like there's kind of this attack and we go through it fast. I think the whole writing and releasing has been also a little bit of an attack. Like, let's just keep going as quick as we can and kind of keep having good output.
I look at you guys as like contract killers in like an action movie. Like you just kind of you appear out of nowhere. You walk through the hotel lobby. Next thing we know, you're on the rooftop. 5 minutes later, people are saying, "Oh my God, what happened?" And then you guys are on the street on to your next destination.
Love that. Yeah.
I think a lot of it's out of necessity for us because we all have kids and jobs, and we generally practice at like 8:30, 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Like that's about all we can really manage. So
rock and roll.
Real rock and roll time of
you want to talk rock and roll? I just made my first candle yesterday. That's how rock and roll I am. So I support your 8:30 in the morning practice on a Sunday.
I've made many candles at princess campouts and such. So congratulations. Welcome to the club.
Thank you. Sorry, Matt.
No, I was just saying, out of pure necessity, we have to be efficient. So we got 18 recorded songs now over 2 LPs, maybe clock in about 21, 22 minutes a shot. But, I think that generally works out really well for us. I think a lot of the feedback we've gotten on those records is that the length of them is good. Sometimes people will maybe want more, sometimes too much of a certain thing is too much. But I feel like that's kind of about right for us, like this 9-song, 22-minute kind of assault, and then it's over and we can move on. So that's a formula that seems to kind of work for us right now. So, Dan and I are retiring in a year, so we have to get a foot LP.
So, Matt, it seems like you've been taking notes on a lot of things over the past couple of years. You're spitting venom on this album, and this is one of the things we love about the band. I mean, you're pissed about a lot of things, and we echo, I think, your outrage on a lot of things. Human Resources kicks things off. Once Upon a Weapon is the new release. The lesson here: corporate America sucks.
I mean, that was just the constant assault of every company, the ones you work for, the ones you don't work for, telling you how much they care about you and how much your safety and well-being matters to them. And we all know it's just a load of horse shit. And, it's the thoughts and prayers or the thank you for your service of the COVID era. And it's meaningless and got to the point where it's just insulting. So that's pretty much what that song's about.
The disingenuousness.
Yeah, right.
Well, along those lines, social media, it is what it is. I think you kind of go further in that direction with Distraction Diet. Just the way people doom scroll and live their lives in the present day.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everything. I mean, as good as the internet could be for humanity, it's also a terrible weapon, or so I mean, it's everything from social media to YouTube to whatever it is. It's just this barrage avalanche of garbage, and I can believe whatever I want to believe right now, and I can find someone to validate that, and it just the divisions that sows, like we've seen for the past several years, 10 years, whatever it's been, it's getting worse and worse, and there's really no indication that it gets better at this point. So yeah, I mean, it's just a general frustration. Yeah, just a general frustration with that stuff.
Well, I'm right there with you.
On Distraction Diet, James, there's which I mean, it all worked out beautifully, but there's a James Baldwin sample at the beginning of the song. How much time do you want for your progress? If you're familiar with the interview, it's an interview from almost 50 years ago, talking about how progress is being made. And then James Baldwin so eloquently kind of called it out that, that there's not progress being made. How much time do you want for your progress? Like, unfortunately, there's more often than not, there really isn't progress or change. It's just more status quo.
I go through days with the internet, with social media, where it's bipolar. I'll be in one situation thinking, wow, this is great. This is really a wonderful way to come together and share experience. Then 5 minutes later, I'm like, fuck, I hate everything. I've got to close my computer and not look at it for the next 24 hours. Oh, and it just, it's that whiplash, and it can't be healthy. It's not emotionally healthy.
Don't read the comments, but very often don't look at the people what they're doing too. It's just as bad, right? So it's a mess for sure.
It's a mess. All right, the new album, Once Upon a Weapon, the title track has a video. Is that footage from Reggie's in the video?
Yeah, some of it.
Yeah, Reggie's in the Liars Club, right?
That's okay. Right. I was like playing Spot the Venue.
Yeah.
Chicago band videos.
Yeah, a couple venues in that one. We haven't had a lot of shows to get footage from.
Yeah, there was like 3 different people, Matt Adama, Chris Peters, and Z from Wasted Ink. That was the live footage. And then Wendy Norton from Norton Video kind of took all of it and made the video.
I think one of my favorite songs on this album, and again, if you blink, you miss it. It's like 20 minutes. If you go to the bathroom while the album's on, you're going to come back and be really disappointed. Like, oh God, where'd it go? 1 Year to Ancient, I think, is one of my favorite songs. lifted lyrics from that in the description of this episode. If you cluster them together, they read great. Resist, abide, never satisfy, resist or hide, never satisfied, resist, defy, never satisfy. Tell me, Matt, where this song came from or what you were thinking.
Oh, well, I this summer I'll turn 50. So that was sort of my reflection on that final year, right before that grand milestone is hit. And I think it was also that in combination, the end of that song is sort of like, all right, I know I'm the old man on the stage yelling at you right now about how things are messed up or how things could change, but really I ought to shut up and let the youth take over. I mean, I think that goes back, and maybe even last time we did this, we talked about it. And, going in 2 years ago and a lot of the youthful energy that was around that I was seeing, I was just super inspired by that. Like a lot of the protest movements and Black Lives Matter marches, just seeing kids like angry, pissed, engaged. That was like super inspirational to me because, that's how I felt when I was younger. And then life happens and then you come back around and you go, oh yeah, wait a minute. I still feel that way. And so, I think that the song was kind of a combination of just getting older and seeing that on the horizon and creeping up and, trying to figure out where you fit in that place, but at the same time also sort of seeding the anger to the youth, I think, and kind of giving them what you have and then kind of getting out of the way, right? So
I like that perspective, but age has come up a lot in recent interviews. It's come up in my life. I mentioned when I did my Q101 episode 700 a couple of nights ago, my last radio job, I was told by my boss to shave my beard because it had gray hair in it. It wasn't appropriate for where I was working. So I've been very aware and focused on age. And then you see someone like Bill Maher on TV saying that ageism is like the last acceptable bias with employers, with the world. Like that's the one prejudice that people still do and don't get called on. And so I guess my question to you is, do you think of the number? Do you think of 50? Do you think of, I'm past my point. Do you really think that, or do you still think you have stuff to offer? I guess is my question.
Oh, I think so. But I think at the same time, like I'm not the lone voice, right? I think if you think about what we were talking about earlier in terms of like the internet and disinformation and all of that stuff, the whole world at this point, nobody wants to have a dialogue. Everybody just wants to have a monologue. And
you're wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we're having,
yeah.
Except for you. But so that's I guess my acknowledgement of like, it's just not my place. We had an opportunity, I feel, to do things, to change things, whether personally or socially. I don't really know if it's that much of a better position when I was 20 right now. The world seems colossally fucked up. And I have young kids. We all have young kids. So where do they go? And there's no reason they need to spin their wheels on the tracks we're leaving behind, because that didn't get us anywhere. So, I still think that people of age have tons to offer. Wisdom is huge.
I'm so full of wisdom. I'm so full of wisdom.
Right. And, but I think, at the same time, like, there's gotta be new answers somewhere. Yeah. There's gotta be.
I agree with that. So again, this new album, Once Upon a Weapon, I held up the last release here, Fixed Against Forever. This is on vinyl. I know vinyl is coming for the new album, but I think you got caught in that Adele shitstorm that every other artist got caught in, didn't you? Like it caused delays across the board.
Extremely long.
We're working with, the label I do. I got 4 or 5 releases right now. I'm working with Smash Plastic here in Chicago. I've always wanted to kind of have a good relationship with the local pressing plant. And
yeah, they're great.
They've been great, but they're also slammed and backed up. So, 30-ish weeks production time on anything. So wow. Do we wait to release these songs into the wild, end of the summer? I just don't think we were really willing to do that. This record probably could have came out the end of the fall, if we, but we were trying to figure out what to do with the vinyl and stuff. So it's coming, but probably not till the end of the summer, maybe.
And then it just kind of becomes a new marketing plan, right? It's like it's a second wave of promotion and activity.
I mean, records these days, I mean, there's you're only going to sell so many. So, I mean, like, people are going to hear your music one way or the other, and the people that want to buy vinyl come back and buy vinyl later. So, I don't think it's that big of a deal for a band our size, and it works out well. We got to work with John Yates again to do the cover, which to me is kind of bucket list sort of stuff. And we played with Negative Approach. We got John Yates to do a cover, and there's some potential shows coming up in September, which my head may explode if they actually happen. So, we're definitely doing good stuff and working with great people, and we recorded with Mike at Everly Studios again. That experience also, I think, is very unique to us. Like, it's very relaxed. I can go in on a Tuesday and work for 2 hours. And he was very accommodating to like sort of the weird COVID world, as well as our sort of like piecemeal schedule. And coming back with Wrong War is the first time I've been in his studio since like the early 2000s, pre kind of almost the digital era. And what a world of difference that makes. I mean, you can just sit there and fine tune nitpick stuff until you hit
the point of diminishing returns and realize you've gone too far.
Or Mike tells me to go the fuck home. Yeah,
exactly.
Unless you play bass or drums, then you only get one chance.
Yeah.
That's the way that works.
If you mess up, we knock you mercy.
2 hours. Yeah.
It's funny. You mentioned Smash Plastic. Love those guys. Had them on this podcast about 500 episodes ago, which seems like a million years ago. It's like probably 3 years ago at this point. I remember back then thinking, oh, this is brilliant. Like, these guys are geniuses, because vinyl was certainly ascendant and doing great at that point. 3 years later, who knew it would be that much of a bigger deal? And they're still the only game in the state of Illinois. Like, geniuses over there.
Yeah. In fact, they eventually were like only taking jobs from Illinois based labels. And now they're only taking jobs from people they've already taken jobs from before. Yeah. So, I mean, I think when the vinyl like sort of market imploded at the, in the middle, a few months into COVID, I think they had people from like, Belgium and whatever trying to press with them. And they just said, well, wait a minute. We started to serve the Chicago music market. Let's peel back. And, so I think they're still playing catch up though.
So the new album is streamable. It's listenable. The vinyl will come. It'll get there, and it'll be exciting when we do eventually get to have and hold it and touch it and put it on a turntable and drop a needle on it. Once Upon a Weapon is what we can listen to. What am I looking at?
Wait, hold on. Oh my God.
That wasn't the right thing.
Patrick's holding up his phone to the camera. Not very well. There we go. It's Max Headroom. Why is it Max Headroom?
Nobody knows.
What's happening here?
This is it.
That's that. If you know, kind of. It's when WTTW was hijacked by Max Headroom.
Right. Cool.
I spent a lot of time amusing myself, Jay.
No, we all do. I get it. It's the past few years have been hard on all of us. Before I cut you guys loose, it's worth mentioning this entire time, bassist Dave looks like he's here to sell us something. He's sitting in front of his camera with 6 hot sauce bottles. It looks like I just arrived at like one of those parties where you have like finger sandwiches and cocktails, but in order to get the food and drinks, you got to listen to a sales pitch. Dave, what are you doing here? You got like 6 hot.
Pat told me this was going to be the hot ones tonight, so I thought I was on the hot one. So I got my hot sauces and my chips here, and yeah, but I guess it's just me and my hot sauce tonight after this.
You go right for the last dab here, yeah.
We'll do the last one here and see.
So you're a hot sauce guy, like you're impervious to heat, like you can.
I don't know if I'm impervious. I just haven't like found.
What you got there?
Wait, can you hold the bottle up to the camera?
Yeah, this is supposedly like this is a really hot one, I guess.
So on that show, that's the last one, which is torturous. I've had a pea size of it, and I basically feel horrible afterwards.
Like I mixed this in with my Cheerios breakfast. It's good.
We should also bring up the fact that before we practice at 8:30 on a Sunday, Dave often runs like a half marathon. So
Yeah.
This is like racing fuel.
Yeah.
Are there any other shows we want to mimic? I mean, wait, don't tell me. Serial. Do you guys want to kill anybody? Like, what else could we do besides Hot Ones? Anybody come prepared? Like, no, seriously, what are we doing here? Are we just
find another show to do?
Are we at the point of the interview where we just watch Dave eat chips?
Wouldn't be the
Is that really what's happening here? All right, so okay, Dave. Besides Hot Ones, what's another like make your brain melt hot sauce? I know Cholula is like that's entry level. That's something for kids and middle school.
You did that whole chip challenge thing, right? Oh,
yeah. There's some. Yeah, I'm with my brother-in-law. I'm supposed to do some challenge. It's like one chip and you eat the chip. And I've actually seen Larry from Pegboy do it on. I think it's on YouTube. You can find it. And
so great.
You can watch what happens to him after he eats this chip. I guess I'm going to give that a try. My brother-in-law spent the $30 or whatever to buy this one chip that's supposedly like some genetically modified pepper that I don't know. It looked like it
normally can kill you at a 10-foot range.
I mean, in summary, this is just such a guy thing, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
This is something dumb guys do. I mean, you're a smart guy, but I mean, I get it. Like I had Herb Rosen of Liars Club and Scott Lucas in the car like 2 years ago before the pandemic. And we got the cocktail sauce from St. Elmo's, the place in Indianapolis. We got their hot cocktail sauce. We did shots of that, which was just like horseradish through the nasal cavity, like blinding. We couldn't do that, but we're all together in the car. Let's do shots. And that was painful. I feel like that wouldn't even phase Dave. Like that's amateur hour.
Yeah, probably wouldn't.
We'll get some of those hot chips and maybe we can, do it before a show or something like that and see what happens.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, horseradish is a different thing. I mein you're doing pepper-based heat.
Now
horseradish affects your body in a much different way.
It does. Like I'm not immune to that. So like, that green stuff that comes with sushi or whatever, that'll
wasabi. Yeah.
Sometimes right up here. So the pepper stuff, I don't know.
That's your superpower.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's your thing.
My wife tells me I got to do something with that. Like, so that's why I was.
Yeah, I feel like opportunities are small for that, but if you can find them, you'll own them.
Yeah, let's not try that right before a show though. We had a mishap where we were in Philadelphia and we were there. So somebody's like, you got to try this cheesesteak. So we all had a really fantastic cheesesteak and then played a show. And I thought I was going to die from cheesesteak and playing at fast paces.
It just liquefied your insides. That was it. Good night, nurse.
Felt horrible. Yeah, horrible.
We made the bad choice. I think there was like a 9-inch and a 14-inch, and I think we went with the 14.
You're excited to be in Philadelphia. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it went in Rome.
Yeah.
Go big. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So hot sauce aside, let's get back to Wrong War. Once Upon a Weapon is the new release. I love it. It's 20 blistering minutes. It delivers on everything you guys promised with that first album. Keep doing what you do. I love your sound. And, obviously live, we talked about this from the jump. Live opportunities are fewer and farther between these days, but I would urge people to see you when that opportunity presents itself. Wrong War. Thank you very much.
And thanks. Thank you for your support too. We appreciate it.